What's up, everybody? I'm Scott.
I'm Jason.
And welcome to Liquid Carnage. Dude, you are not in Phoenix today.
No, I'm not actually.
You're not in Kingwood either.
No, on Tuesday morning at 5. Well, actually, what happened is Monday morning, I got called in to a meeting, and they said, "Look, we need someone to fly out to Sacramento immediately to fix this computer problem that we have. Who do we got?" And they didn't have anybody, so they said, "Jason, can you do this?" I said, "Of course."
See, now that's you being modest, because the story you gave me off there was like they're looking for the best guy out in the world, and you got volunteered. The best guy working for United Healthcare, and your secretary volunteered you, knowing even after such a short amount of time that you were the man to go fix Sacramento's issues.
That's right. So today I'm day 3 of my trip. I flew out early Tuesday morning, worked all day Tuesday, all day yesterday. The podcast is releasing on Thursday. I'm chilling with the podcast. And then I fly back out tomorrow, and then come back Monday and work till next Tuesday. So it's going to be a long week.
I bet, man.
Yeah, so it's going to be a trip, man.
Oh, well,
but I'm glad that they gave me the confidence. I'm glad they had the confidence in me to send me out here.
That's true. That's the business life, though. That's the life you chose.
Hey, man.
Or how does that work?
You either live the life you live. No, I don't remember how.
Live the life you live.
Something like that.
Some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
You know, on a happier note, on a different note, I should say. I don't check my mail very often. I'm horrible at checking my mail because I have one of those giant community boxes that's down the block.
Yeah, but don't you worry about your bills not being paid if you don't check your mail?
Now, listen, here's how I do my bills. Most of them are either auto pay, or I just throw a general lump sum at it and hope I hit it.
Wow. Well, do you balance your checkbook that way too?
Yeah, pretty much.
Screw it.
I log on to online banking and pray. I've got a running total in my head.
Okay, there we go. You're close. You're about there.
I always have an idea. Be that as it may, I check my mailbox on Monday. I had a busy weekend last weekend for me. I had our black tie gala, so I needed some time. So I came home Monday night after meetings or whatever else, and I checked my mail, dude, and I found a note that you sent me another note wishing me luck on the meeting or on the party, and I wanted to say thank you for that. You are probably the most thoughtful podcast partner out there today. I just respond with texts, and you actually handwrite notes. So I want to say thank you for the note. I appreciate that.
Well, I was thinking about you. I know you had a big weekend last weekend, and I just wanted to let you know I was thinking about you, and I knew you were going to do great. And obviously, just expressing my love, buddy. Expressing my love.
I appreciate that. It was a fun weekend. I'm glad the weekend's done.
It was one of those ones where you're smiling, you're having a great time, you're hosting, you're doing all of it, and then once it's like, bye everyone, bye, crash.
I think literally everyone on our teams did the same thing Monday morning. We all got home Sunday about 11 o'clock or noon, and everyone sat on their couch and didn't move the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And literally everyone had the same story. I got home, man. I sat on the couch, I crashed, I watched TV, I took a nap. It was whatever.
I give a lot of respect to teachers who have to teach every single day and keep up and keep energized and all that. And then at the end of the day, they're so exhausted. I feel for them. That's hard.
Oh, yeah, dude. I get it, man. Having to be on all the time is hard enough for what I do.
Yeah.
But having kids? Oh, screw that. Man.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Well,
so
I'm glad it went so well. I'm glad it went well. I'm sure that you posted pictures on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And if you're out there on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, look us up at Liquid Carnage. Check us out.
Check out
comments.
Check out our executive producer, Tom, on Twitter, also at Liquid_EP. Tom always gives reviews of our shows every Thursday after he listens to the final cut and tells us what we can do better. And we've actually had some social interaction on there. A lawyer friend of ours, Sean Hamp. Hi, Sean. I know you're listening. Gave us some good feedback. And Tom is helping Sean skim through some of the slower parts of our show.
Oh, good. Okay.
By the notes. So, which bothers me because apparently Tom thinks we have slow parts of our show.
Well, you take the good with the bad.
That's
take
true.
The good with the bad.
You take the good, you take the bad. What's the facts of life? I don't know how that goes.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that.
Well,
on with the show then. We will not drag any further tonight. On with the show.
On with the show. So I was thinking, I was watching people in the casino this weekend because we had our party in a big casino down in Laughlin. And, I was watching all these couples, young, middle-aged, old, and I got to thinking, did all those old couples get married as teens? Like our grandparents did. They got married at 18 years old and they lasted 65 years. Those kind of love stories. You know what kind I'm talking about? My grandparents.
Noreen's parents were like that. They're still married. They just celebrated their 67th wedding anniversary.
Yeah, and you don't see that anymore. And it's impressive when you do find something like that. And my parents are going on 43 years. And is it 43? Yeah, 43 years. If I'm wrong, Tom will give me a note. But no, it'll be 43 years next year. But you don't see it. I mean, anymore. Relationships are throwaway relationships. And it makes me wonder, why do people still insist on getting married so young? Why do kids fresh out of high school, 19, 20, 21 years old, insist so much that they have found the one and that it's going to be love forever, Jason? It's going to be love.
Yeah. Well, what a great topic, because I've got a few ideas on this whole thing. Okay. First of all, the first thing that there's something about youth that doesn't have, they don't look at life and love with such tainted glasses. When you're 15, 16 years old, it's sometimes the first time you've ever felt that kind of romance and passion with someone, and it's the first time that you've ever felt that. And so when you're doing it for the first time and it's brand new, it's so strong, and oh my gosh, nothing bad could ever happen. Life is always so easy. I'm a kid and life has been so easy and wonderful. This man makes me feel, or this woman makes me feel wonderful.
Let me paraphrase that then. Life has not broken you yet, if that's how you feel.
How about this? You think that everything? What's that saying? The rose color. You see life through rose-colored glasses. Everything is up. Everything is feeling good, and life's easy. And I remember when I was 16 years old, I had more money in my pocket than I did sometimes as an adult. Yeah. I had more money. I had money in savings. Life was easy. Life was fun. Everything was great. Well, when you're talking about love, it's idealistic and it's fresh, and oh my goodness, I could play.
Let me ask you this then. When you said it there, when you were 16 years old, you remember how you were, right?
Yeah.
Were you the same person at 20?
No.
Okay, now that person you were at 20, were you the same person at 25?
No.
And that person at 25, what about at 35?
Definitely different.
And now 35 to 46, are you similar to 35, or are you completely different?
I'm probably closer to what I was at 40.
Okay. No, that being said,
yeah,
look at the amount of growth and the amount of things that you've changed about yourself, the way you look at the world, the way you look at life.
Mm-hmm.
And has your taste in women and your taste for what you want out of something changed from the time you were, we'll say, 18 years old to now?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
yeah, the first time I when I got married the first time, I thought I was in love. I really thought I was in love. This is just the most beautiful, wonderful experience of love, and oh my gosh, how could I ever not be with this person?
Mm-hmm.
And then life happened. Life happens, and that changed. And then on the next relationship, it was, we have fun. There's no pressure. It's easy. It's it's easy. We can just go and be, and there's no. It was more realistic love.
Mm-hmm.
But then that changed, and there was a change there. And then now, my relationship with Noreen has taught me love's work. Love is work, and it's compromise, and it's biting your tongue when you don't want to. I mean, love's hard, man. So
it is.
And let's look at it from that perspective. I mean, if we take the premise that love is hard, a lot of kids don't have the skill sets to be able to deal with the ups and downs and trials and struggles that love takes.
I agree. Well, kids today aren't really equipped with all that. A lot of them have grown up with parents that are already divorced, and they're on to their second and third marriages in some case, or in some case second families. So divorce is no big deal for them. Relationships have turned almost throwaway.
Okay, go ahead.
It's been said that, and you alluded to this, you have three great loves in your life. You have the first one that you learn about love. That's the one that's going to last forever in your eyes. That's the young love. It's going to last forever. It's going to be perfect. You guys have found each other, and it's never going to. It cannot get any better than this with anyone else. Then you get divorced. And, you're broken. You're bitter. You hate life. And then your second great love is after you've learned from the first one. It could be a year. It could be 6 years. It could be 10 years after that. Who knows? Everyone works on different time frames. But that's supposed to be the longest term relationship you have, because that's how you build the core of your life. The person that you build, you learn to trust, and you I don't want to say start planning for forever with, but you plan for forever with, and it's never going to be better than it is with that person right there. You follow me?
I'm with you.
And then if something happens, we'll say you get divorced or someone passes away, that said that your third major relationship is the one that does last. Now you've learned all your lessons. You know what you're willing to do, what you need to do to fix it. You've learned obviously from your first major relationship, your first major love, and then you learned what you've needed to correct from your second marriage or love. And now this time, taking all that, you've accepted who you are and know who you are as a person, and you're supposed to be. That should be the great one. Now that's all just hypothetical and what people say, psychologically supposed to happen, but we all know the world's fucked up, and who knows if that doesn't happen for everybody.
But do you think that you can find the three stages like that what you described? Do you think that some people can find that with one person, and they find the puppy love when they're kids and they get married, and then they find the love of sustaining, but they find it with the same person? They can stay with the same person because both of them are, and then they find the perfect love that carries them into the rest of their lives. I mean, is it possible?
And that's a great question. And I don't know, and I've seen this happen a lot lately, just from watching the world, where people that get married young. There's a few examples I've just seen over the last couple, probably 2-3 years. Well, they got married young, they divorced for whatever reason, and you saw both parties get wild. They went off and they were living up the single life and so forth. And then I think once they realized that life wasn't what they thought it was without the other person, those people went back to each other and they fell in love again. And yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do that. Like these people that, like, wasn't Elizabeth Taylor that married Richard Burton like 4 times? I mean, she left him, went back to him, left him, went back to him, left, and it's like, oh, yeah, I couldn't imagine.
Yeah. And if you can get past all the issues you have from the first time you broke up, then hey, man, personal growth is the key to life. If you can learn from your mistakes and grow from them and not repeat them, and you can do that with this person that you divorced or broke up with prior, hey man, more power to you. Some people spend years being on again, off again with the same person, and it gets to be toxic after a while in those cases. But if you can learn and actually grow, do you think there's a chance that they could stay together forever?
Or how about this? The stats say no, right? I mean, the stats say that no, it's not going to happen. The stats say no.
Let me ask you this question then. To build off that, do you think that you don't fall back into your old patterns? Like you knew what you could do the first time around, but this time, even though you've grown and changed, you can kind of cut that corner here because you know how your partner would take it, or how to push their buttons from earlier because there's you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I've gone through counseling on certain things that I've done in my life, and one of the things that I firmly have gained from the counseling is that our minds, our emotions are very similar to a computer program, that we are trained to react and respond to certain things based on what happened in our past. Mm-hmm. And that programming, sometimes you can add layer on layer on layer on top of the programming, but at some fundamental level, that programming is always there. I do feel that it would be easy to go back to someone that maybe you loved but didn't like this thing about them. They change that, and then, because your programming likes a certain way of living life, or maybe not likes it, but does a certain way of living life. So can I see for some people going back? Yeah, I could. I mean, I wouldn't do it. But then again, I've been one of the type of guys that once I get past a certain point, there is no turning back. I'm done.
Yeah.
Emotionally, I'm cut off. And, that's part of my programming that, may be flawed, but that's part of my programming. It's funny that you say this because I'm actually, my Adam and Brittany are getting married in April, and I'm trying to plan a bachelor party for Adam. And I've never been to a bachelor party. I've never organized one. I've never, when I was married, I never had one. So I'm asking, what kind of things do you plan for a bachelor party? I mean, I don't know. And I said, do they still do strip clubs? I mean, do they still do that? I don't know. Because I don't feel comfortable, taking a guy who's going to get married to a strip club and then his wife-to-be goes off and goes batshit crazy on me and him.
Yeah, but don't the women do the same thing at the bachelorette parties?
Well, it's different though. That's weird too. So that's different. Is that women can go to a strip like a Magic Mike, or hell, some women even go to a female strip club and have naked women dance. But my thing, the reason why I'm asking the question is the bachelor party nowadays is so different than what it was 50 years ago.
Oh, absolutely.
Before it was, we're going to take you to a strip club. We're going to show you naked women because, frankly, you've probably, one, never seen a naked woman, and two, you're not going to see another naked woman for the rest of your life.
Yeah, enjoy it while you can.
So the bachelor party is basically your opportunity to do all the things that you're not probably going to be able to do anymore once the bachelor party, once you get married. Nowadays, shit, most
because the internet, all bets are off.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
So how is your? I know Adam listens, so you don't have to go into great details. How is the bachelor party planning coming along?
I gotta be honest. I have a problem with either you go all out and people just know they're going to spend a few $100 to do it, or you go skimpy and just drink heavily. I'm kind of leaning towards spending some money. Let's do something nice. So I've got a couple activities planned that are going to be a little bit more expensive, but for those who don't want to do that, they don't have to join us. I'm hoping that they do because it's for the bachelor. But I want to do things that are like camaraderie, guys just being around other guys and enjoying the camaraderie of being together as males, talking and reminiscing about days of yore, or hey, like this conversation. I dated this girl when I was younger, and I learned this and this, and then I dated this girl and learned this and this, and so now I'm locked into my new wife, who is perfect for me and perfect for the woman I want to spend the rest of my life with.
So you want to drop some Edgeworth-isms in Adam's ears that you haven't already dropped, just reminiscing about days gone by.
Well, most of the guys that are in the bachelor party are either married or have been married. So I'd really like to have talks where we can just sit there and say, what advice would you give? What mistake did you make? And just have kind of a free for all, just kind of, Adam, we're celebrating you and you're getting married.
A bachelor party intervention.
Maybe
this is what we've done. Don't do what we've done.
No, it's not like that. No, never mind. We got off topic. But here's the thing. So Adam's in his mid-30s or early 30s, and Brittany's in her late 20s. So the chances of them staying married 50 years,
it increases.
It's a pretty good chance that they could stay together for 50 years.
Yeah, women are 5 years more mature than men, according to studies. So Brittany's probably around Adam's maturity age. So I think they're going to be fine. I know they're great together, so there's no reason they shouldn't last 50 years.
But neither of them have been married. Noreen and I, if we were to get married again, we've already been married before, so we're not going to get the 60 years together marriage.
No.
And chances are, because of our advanced age, if we got 40, we'd be damn lucky. I don't think we're going to get 40 either.
If you got the 40 years, I'm not going to lie. I probably won't see her 40th anniversary. I don't have that much longer.
Oh, you think you're not going to live much longer than that? Okay, all right.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
But something about our society kind of respects.
Yeah.
I think we've both met couples that, we got married at 18 and we're still together. We've been together 25 years.
Yeah.
I'm amazed. I don't know what the secret is, but I'm amazed.
But isn't that like leaving the party at 9 p.m. on a Friday night, right before the kegs get there? I mean, think about it. Isn't that life is this giant party? At least that's what people tell me mine is. They're completely wrong, but they just see the public side. They don't see the other side of stuff. But if life is this giant, nonstop, good time, all these things happen because you meet all these different people. You go to all these different places. You have all these different experiences, all these different people, and that's what makes you, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen until after 9 p.m. of the night of that party.
I don't know, dude. We get in a lot of trouble, you and me, after 9 p.m. sometimes.
Exactly.
We get in a lot of trouble. I don't know if we want that kind of trouble.
And don't get me wrong. If you want to leave the party and go home at 9 p.m. and that's your partner for life, man, more power to you. You do your thing. But don't you think those people ever wonder what else is out there? Like, what if I chose poorly? And this is the person I'm with, and because of religious beliefs or whatever else, I'm going to ride this out for the next 50 years, and well, that'll be fun. But then you have you've done what I've done, and Grant, I've settled down for the most part, but I don't know. I couldn't imagine settling down at 18 years old and saying, "Yep, you're the one I want to be with."
Well, but Noreen's parents have been married 67 years.
Yeah.
67 years. Now, I mean, we know, because we're advanced aged men, that it wasn't the easiest 67 years for the two of them to do that.
Oh, God, no.
Ups and downs and bad times and good times, and man, I don't want to be with this person anymore, and, I'm going to stay with this person, but I could kill him if I have a job. So, these people that get married young, as they get into it, maybe the difference is that nowadays people just are not, it's a short-term gratification. If it's not perfect right away, then, well, why would I want to stay in lack of perfection? Let's just move on. Versus like your parents, they, for whatever reason, knew, okay, it's not perfect, but we stick together.
Would you argue ever that ignorance is bliss? That some people just might look at it like, you know what, as long as I don't know what else is, I don't have to think anything else is better. What I got's good, and I don't need to sample anything else. So they just live the life not worrying or just being ignorant to the fact that there's so many other things in life out there.
Maybe, or, some people look at life and say, I know what I have. While I know the grass can be greener, I know how to trim this grass. And I like the way the grass feels, so I'd rather just stay with safety than take the chance that I'm going to find the grass isn't going to be greener on the other side. Some people, that's their personality, That's their personality. I can't say this. If I had met Noreen at 18, I think I could have married that girl. I think I could have married that girl.
Yeah, but could that girl have married you?
Wow. Well, yeah, of course. Come on,
Jason.
What are you talking about?
Jason.
She just. Wow.
Don't lie to me. Even from Sacramento, don't lie to me. Would that girl have married 18-year-old Jason?
Probably not. I don't know. Maybe she would have. Hell, I don't think that's possible. I mean, anything is possible. But then again, it also, that's the other thing too. Young kids, when they get married like that, what usually happens within a year to 2 years?
Oh, they have kids or they get divorced.
Have kids. So then they lock into that. They have that common bond between the two of them. That sometimes, I mean, my parents were a perfect example. They were great parents of me. Once I left, their marriage lasted very, very short amount of time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's almost like some people, they stay together for the kids, they do really well for the kids, and then realize we have drifted, our lives have drifted to a point where we are not a couple anymore. We're parents, and we're good parents, but we're not a couple.
Yeah, and see, I'll give my parents credit. once my brother and I grew up and left the house, they got closer. You know, they found their wheelhouse. You know, they go off and they do all these other things. Not that they're retired, man. They're always traveling, do whatever else. So they fought through the suck, and I'm sure it was terrible for a little while. It has to be. I mean, that's just what the odds are in that favor. But they fought through it and they built through it because they come from that time where that's just what you do. You know, and I don't know if that's the case these days anymore.
Well, I will
know
say
it's not the case these days anymore.
Those couples let's look at the couples that get divorced and plotted and worked through. They usually have more retirement. They usually have longer life expectancy. Mm-hmm. They have the memories of knowing that we worked through something, and they can, you know, take honor that they worked through something and they kept maintain the course. Yeah. You know, and that's kind of a nice feeling to have. I mean, I wish I had that feeling. I don't have that feeling because I didn't do it. And I walked away from 2 marriages with absolutely nothing, you know. Wow. So
I don't know, man. I think sometimes when you walk away from those marriages with nothing, you don't walk away with nothing. I think walking away with yourself and figuring out who you really are is worth more than anything you could ever take away from that from a physical standpoint.
And yet there's some kids, even there seeing some kids today, though. There are some kids today, like when I was an apartment manager 6 years ago, I was an apartment manager, and there was a young couple, 18 and 19, got their first apartment together. Right before I left Kingman, I saw that couple. They were still together. And this is a couple that they shouldn't have made it. Like, typical, neither of them had good jobs, neither of them had anything, you know, structured or, you know, anything to kind of think that they were going to be successful. And 7 years later, they were still together. But anyways, so is it possible young kids could do it? Yeah, I think it's definitely possible. I think it's possible for anyone to do it. No, I know for myself, I lean more like you do. That the sad part is I didn't really know myself the first time. The sad part is I didn't really know myself the second time. The third time, I met someone who makes me want to be better.
Yeah, and that's it. And it's, you know, I'm what, 37 now? And that's the point I've gotten to in life where, when you want to meet someone, that makes you better. I've been through the ones, I don't want to say false relationships, but the ones that give you the false sense of securities. The ones that make you feel like this could go somewhere, then oops, your insecurities pop up and then things fall apart one way or the other. I think as you get older, you find that way, that path of maturity and what you're okay with yourself, you know, being yourself and your own faults. And that makes you okay with other faults, for the faults in others, I should say. So you learn to accept them, and you learn to accept yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, you know, I think of one of our listeners, Jenna Marshall, and her husband found each other a little bit later. Not a lot later, but later.
They're still going to get 50 solid years out of each other.
Well, and I'm sure if Jenna were on the show tonight, she would tell you, once I found the right one,
it was easy.
I have no problem spending the rest of my life with that person.
Yeah.
You know, the problem is nowadays is that we're so quick to say, oh, they're not the right one because of this, or oh, they're not the right one because of this.
It goes back to our deal breaker episode. It really does.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, or it also could be immaturity, you know, how much of it is immaturity of the person making that determination. I mean, I've told you a couple times, I'm learning in relationships. It really doesn't matter what I can put up with the person I'm with, is if they can put up with me, because I'm flawed. And if you can find someone who can put up with a person's crap and still be with them,
that's half the battle.
You hang on to them with all your heart and soul. You know, you hang on to them.
So let me wrap up this conversation with this question.
Question away, buddy.
Being that you have never had a bachelor party, I've never had a bachelor party. I know our executive producer Tom has never had no bachelor party. Can we throw one for one of us, even though neither of us is getting married, and just to experience the way it should be?
Ooh, so just have like a faux bachelor party?
Yeah, well, yeah. Technically, we're all bachelors.
Hey, I've got some good ideas. You know, if you want to.
I'm just throwing it out there. We've talked about the Liquid Carnage Great American Road Trip.
We have talked about that.
You know, maybe we talk about the Liquid Carnage Bachelor Party. Hit us up with your thoughts on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Liquid Carnage, or hit up our executive producer, Tom, at Liquid_EP on Twitter, and tell us your thoughts. I know he's going to freak out already on the bachelor party idea.
Yeah, that's not going to go over well.
I know Tom gets wild. I've seen glimmers of Tom get wild. I've never seen Tom get Vegas wild.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that is a big difference. That's a big difference.
Yeah, and I think we've earned that right for the amount of shit he's given us over the last year about our episodes and trying to make us better, which he's done a great job and we're thankful for. We should throw Tom a thank you bachelor party.
You know, we could say he's married to his job, or he's going to get married to his job,
mm-hmm.
and we're going to have to celebrate, before he gets married.
I think that's the way to do it.
There we go. See, problem solved.
We are problem solvers here on Liquid Carnage.
this is an interesting topic. I like the discussion about it because, as we've said and probably will say it again, there's no secret formula.
There's not. Everyone's different. Every relationship is different.
And no secret formula.
And we can hypothesize an armchair quarterback every person's relationship, including our own, but really the only two people that know what goes on in the relationship is those two people involved.
Yeah. And they both know what they're willing to take. And I'll end with this. Paulav, my friend Paulav, who I love to death. Our friend Paulav, who I love to death, and Selena, his lovely wife. They live in Nashville, Tennessee. But before they moved to Nashville, we would go on walks around KRMC's Hualapai campus. And we were talking, and he said, one thing that's a little different about the American culture versus like our culture is that when you're young and strong and good looking, it's very easy to find someone. It's very easy to find new love and different love. But you have to judge that person, or in our culture, we judge the person by whether when we are 60 or 65, are they the type of person that if I was in a wheelchair, they would push my wheelchair? Or if I was sick, they would take care of me. Wow. Well, when you change the mindset to say, don't look at the young version of the person you're going with, look at the older person and ask yourself if when in your darkest, direst point in life, are they still going to be there? And you can tell that. You can tell that from a person. You can tell from a person whether or not they have the capability of being the type of person to push you in the wheelchair. And I think about that from Paulav's perspective because that's the difference is we look at the immediate now. Oh my gosh, she's so hot. Oh my gosh, she's so
We don't look at the long term.
We don't look at it. Well, she's really hot now, but in 30 years, is she going to be the type of person that still respects me enough to take care of me if something bad happens? And if she's not, or he's not, then maybe we would have a different perspective on choosing that lifelong partner.
That being said, so if you're out there in the dating world, shouldn't you take a look at yourself and try to be a reflection of the person you're trying to find? Be willing to do those things that you want a person to do for you. And
that can be both sides. If you're a total douche, then you're going to look for total douche people. So don't get surprised when a girl treats you badly. You say, well, I don't understand. Well, reflect on yourself, my friend.
That is very deep.
Wow, that was deep. I'm gonna write that in a letter to you, buddy.
You should write that in a letter to me. I'd appreciate it. I will put that on my refrigerator with everyone else. I've got a growing list of letters on my refrigerator from you. So
you're in the inner circle, buddy.
I am I appreciate that.
Inner circle.
I appreciate that. All right, sir. So it's a great topic today. So why don't you go ahead and take us out?
All right. Well, obviously that was Scott. No, sorry. Let's start this again. Hook us up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. at Liquid Carnage. Or at Liquid_EP to see Tom's notes of this episode and the bachelor party idea. Thanks for listening. We really appreciate you guys listening to us. We enjoy recording, and we're glad that you guys enjoy it as much as we do. That was Scott. I'm Jason. And as always, if you never know quite what to say, just have yourself some Liquid Carnage.